Who'd have thought like that putting potatoes on bread and then like just putting butter and salt on it would be delicious, but it's like literally changed my life.
Hello and welcome to The Icon. My name's Taya.
And my name is Emma.
And today we're going to be trying some Canadian food with my Canadian friend Emma. And we're going to order some Poutine from a local restaurant takeaway place. And Emma has also made us some Canadian treats to try at the end as well. Should we order and then we can chat?
20 minutes later.
Oh my goodness, how exciting.
Very.
Tell me how I should eat this. I have cutlery, is that normal?
Cutlery is good, yes, we use cutlery.
Oh my goodness. It's so saucy.
Oh yeah. We do love our sauce. So this is chips, cheese, and gravy. This is the standard Canadian fare.
And would you actually eat this regularly?
Not everyone would, but I did. This was my, like I would have said like Poutine's my favorite food.
So would it be like you could get it on the street? That kind of thing?
Typically like you'll be driving along like a country road and you'll see chip wagons or chip stands and they'll just be kind of parked on the side of the road and it's usually like a converted van or like truck or something like that, and they'll be serving like poutine and fries and chips out of these vans, and in my opinion that's like the best. That's the best poutine is chip truck poutine on the side of the road.
So you would call that chips?
It's funny because they're called chip stands, but we still call them fries.
Because to me, this is a chip. When I think of a fry, I think of like the really thin ones. This is so good. It kind of tastes like roast potatoes and gravy. How does this original compare to the original back home?
I don't think you can get like proper cheese curds here, and cheese curds are like the thing that really makes it, because it's just like nuggets of cheese, all different sizes, like very, very like random, but they have like a bit of a squeaky texture to them. Like when you bite into them, they're just like, yeah, and they're quite strange, but they really make the poutine. And this is quite good, but yeah, that's what really I think takes it to like the authentic Canadian experience. But
so aside from more authentic cheese curds, what else do you miss about Canada?
I think it coincides with just moving from country to city in the midst of a pandemic. I do just miss kind of having access to like green spaces like in Canada, and especially in the part where I grew up, it was just quite rural, just very, very quiet, very peaceful. And I mean, of course, like family, friends, stuff like that. But
yeah, like why did you come to the UK in the first place?
Yeah, so I had always, as someone who grew up in Canada, it's like I feel like it's quite normal and quite like culturally normal to travel a lot, like living in the UK, living kind of in more like European countries, just because everything's so close together. But I mean, growing up, I didn't really travel at all, also being from a much bigger family. So yeah, like travel was something that always appealed to me. And then I had some friends who were starting up a church in Cardiff and kind of pitched that opportunity to me to come and be a part of that. And also, my mom's great-grandparents are from Wales originally, so just the fact that I had some friends here and some roots, and the UK had kind of always interested me.
And was anything like, then when you moved, obviously you had pandemic to kind of contend with, was anything like a big surprise to you when you came here, that you were like, oh, I did not expect that?
Yeah, there are like standard things, like the roads are quite narrow. The cars are really small. I thought it was something that really like stood out to me from the start was I thought it was really cool that there's like a castle in the city. I was like, that's so UK. I'd never even seen a castle like properly before I moved here.
Box 2?
box 2. I can smell the jalapenos.
I'm so excited. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. This is in another league.
So this is, I'm a bit rogue, but this is how I would usually
Okay.
get my poutine.
So what are your favourite things about the UK?
One thing I really love about the UK is like, I feel like I've spoken to a lot of people from here and they don't really notice, but I find you guys have like a lot of, I'm a foodie, and I find you guys have a lot of like very cultural UK British foods, like, and I just think that's so cool. Like, I love like a cream tea, like scones, and I love like your English breakfast tea is so good. I didn't realize like how much I loved it until I tried like Yorkshire tea for the first time, and I was like,
That's so funny, because
Yeah.
I would always be like, oh, every other country has like cool food, and then there's just us, and we're like, we just have like fish and chips. Do you think you've ever been like treated differently because you're not from the UK?
Yeah, actually, it's funny because I have found like in some interactions, I don't know if it's a bit rogue to say this, but when people assume I'm American, they're not impolite, but there is a sense of like, I think, guardedness in that interaction at times.
Okay.
Then when they find out you're Canadian, immediately they're like, ah! Like, people treat Canadians really well here.
This is so good, by the way.
I love this.
I wasn't sure when I tried the first one. I was like, salad on it. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But it really works. Like the
It
crunch
really
of
does.
it.
Yeah.
So I was expecting like a kind of American French fry with like a bit like nachos.
Okay.
Just like chuck a bit of cheese on, chuck a bit of toppings. But this is like a meal. Like it all kind of wraps up with like, I don't know, you get a mouthful with like lots of different things. And
it's like somehow very like flavoursome and out there, but also very comforting, which is what I really like about it.
So, are we going for sweet?
Let's go for it. I feel like it's gonna be sweet and savoury, which is
Okay.
something that you seem to not be too keen on.
I mean, I'm very open. I'm
Okay.
very open.
Okay.
I'm just not a fan of like, it's a classic thing, I'm not a fan of like fruit in salad.
Yeah.
So it's known.
Someone put fruit on a poutine, I'm coming for them.
Oh my gosh, it's got spring onions on it too.
Ooh.
It's definitely not sweet.
Yeah, no.
It's
Good
got
gravy.
it's got gravy on it.
I think it's like a maple infused gravy.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting the chips.
Were you expecting it to be like a dessert?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No. If you didn't tell me it was different sauce, I don't think I'd know.
I think you can really taste it on the chicken, but
Okay.
the sauce itself is pretty close to the others.
Okay. The chicken almost tastes like a donut.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's such a weird sensation.
Wait, now with that in mind,
Okay,
try
thanks
this one.
donut.
Oh no. What have you done?
So, you've been here like just over a year now.
Yeah.
How much longer do you hope to stay, or indefinitely, and like what's the kind of visa situation at the moment?
Yeah, so I came here in March of 2020 on a what's called like a youth mobility visa, and it's a visa that's like specified for like specific countries that have like a partnership with the UK to do. Basically, we have access to so many visas for young people here, and vice versa for the UK and Canada. So basically, it's quite a bit easier to get than a standard working like a tier 2, I believe, working visa, just because I think the scheme was created because they wanted to encourage young people to take the opportunity to travel in the UK or to study, just to experience like life here. So the visa application process and everything was actually like quite easy for me, just because of the visa and just because of the country I'm from. Like things were just made quite easy for me. The visa lasts 2 years, so it'll expire next March. And it's not an extendable one. That's the one thing, is once it expires, I'll have to go home and apply for another visa if I'd like to come back to the UK. At that point, the process might become a bit more complicated, but thus far it's been actually quite easy. So these are butter tarts. I was like racking my brain because I feel like Canadian like traditional foods don't come to mind as easily as you would like with a lot of like UK puddings and things like that. But yeah, these are butter tarts. I'd never made them before, but it's basically a pastry shell filled with kind of like a brown sugary raisiny. I added pecans, that's a bit different, but this is something that my grandma actually made a lot when I was growing up. It's like it's a very Canadian, very comforting kind of food.
I feel like I'm getting a mince pie vibe at the moment.
A little bit, but then once you...
Oh wow, no, already it's different. Mm. Mm.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Yay!
It's like a mince pie without all the weirdness that you don't want. It's like the sweetness.
Mince pie 2.0.
Yeah, and then and the pastry. Did you make that pastry? It's
Yeah.
so good. Thank you so much.
That's okay.
Thank you so much for watching the video today, and huge thank you to Emma for being a part of the video and for baking those delicious treats. They were so good.
Oh, thank you for having me.
If you'd like to see some more immigration conversations, then hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos.